Hello, folks. I in no means want anybody to think that that this is the only way to do it. There are other ways I've seen on the internet that just didn't work for me, and a little bit like the lady on I'm Still Working. You have to do what works for you, and this is the way we've been doing it since I was a kid. And I know it's late in the season, but I could still have the props to show you how to do this. And today's today's subject is how I plant sweet potatoes. Now these sweet potatoes here are about done. They need to be thrown out. It's late in the season, and I start in February, and I put my sweet potatoes in a bowl and in a bucket of sand. One thing you want to bear in mind is that sweet potatoes have an upside and a downside. And if you put them in upside down, they're not going to grow real well. My mother gave my aunt, these are our heirloom sweet potatoes. They've been in our family since I was a kid. My mom was growing these. And and these are pretty much wore out. I'll show you what they look like when I finish pulling them off. Now, I don't usually let them get this long. I usually do them when they're about 4 to 6 inches long, and what I do is I just go and I snap them off, and I will take a few of the lower leaves off. Now this one's really long, and I have a container. This is what I would normally use, and I'll just put it in the water. And every year, at the end of the year, you want to cure your potatoes. You want to set them on a dry floor. You don't want it damp. Sweet potatoes are different than white potatoes, and in that they want dry. And there you can see a nice little one. Now that one I'm going to put in there. We've had these sweet potatoes since as long as I can remember, and I started probably between 200 and 300 plants from February until now. Now these sweet potatoes were pretty nice sweet potatoes, and we always keep what is considered to be the very nicest, the right shape, the perfect shape. And here you can see now that was a beautiful potato, and of course there's one more there, but he's expired. He's ready to go, and all these potatoes have given their nourishment. There's one that has a little bit of roots on already, and they're done. They need to go out, and I've seen all kinds of videos on sweet potato growing. I've seen where people try to plant whole sweet potatoes. I don't know. I mean, I did, and I didn't get anything. Now there's one that came up from underneath, and you can see that is beautifully rooted there, and he'll be ready to go out right away. Now what you do is you take your plants, you put them in water. And sweet potato plants root real fast in water. You set them in the water. And then within a few days, you will start to see these roots. Now these are ready to be planted out. There's another one that I have in this container. One thing you want to bear in mind is that you need to change this water. It'll become stagnated, and then after they get like that in the winter time, I will put them in these 4-inch pots and trays, and I just put them in there, and they like moisture. So you'll want to you don't want them to rot, but you'll want them to have enough water that they can continue to root. And now here are two plants that could go out, and they'll root in this, and that the 2 rows of sweet potatoes you see that I have planted out in the garden were planted this way. Now I have planted some elsewhere in the garden that I just took out because it's not winter time. It's the weather's sufficient that they can survive, and you can plant them, and people in the south just plant them like this. Here in the north, where we have to utilize cut into the winter season to extend our season, we plant them inside, and you have to put them in soil. You won't be able just to plant the slips and still get the sweet potato volume you want. And so trying to think if there's anything else I've forgotten. Well, if so, I'll type it into the on the video. But just remember, sweet potatoes don't like to be put in the basement. They'll like a dry. I have a room that I keep in the trailer that I keep my canned goods in, and we don't heat that room. When we put paper down on the floor, we bring them in, and then my mom would wrap them after a couple weeks, make sure that they all cure. And another thing you want to do in making your stuff keep better is a lot of people make the mistake of washing it before. Oh, they want clean stuff. Well, for some reason I had a lot of problem with rot until I found out that leave the soil on and wash it before you use it, and you'll find your things keep a lot better. And she'd wrap them in newspaper and put them in a crate and leave them in in a room. And I've had sweet potatoes last for more than like 2 years, and they got lost and we didn't realize we had them. Another thing is, when you find a sweet potato, like here in the north, you have to find a local grown sweet potato in your area and save one, and hopefully you get one from like a farmer's market that doesn't have the spray that keeps them from sprouting on. Go to the store, the stuff is sprayed, but you go to a farmer's market and you buy local grown, and I emphasize local grown, you have something that's acclimated to your specific area, and then save, like we have done. This is what we grew when I was a kid, and my mother grew them before I guess I was even around. So and sweet potatoes I do quite well here in my poor soil, even with all the rocks and the clay. I always get I've gotten every year I get about a pickup truck load. So hope this helps. Hey, have a good day.